准备出发 This is my first road trip video. In my own car. Our video series to be precise. I'm super psyched. If you're super psyched too, hit that like. We are heading from the south of Suzhou to the north. But where exactly? Changshu, a city administratively governed by Suzhou. But why Changshu? Why now? Well, it all begins with our recent journey to Shanghai. We took the Shanghai Metro at Changshu Road Station, where we saw ads promoting Changshu tourism featuring Changshu delicacies. In particular, one ad reminded me that now is the time for 熏油面, mushroom oil noodles, because the mushrooms are in season. So there's no better time than now to visit a city I've heard so much about. What have I heard about? Subscribe to my channel to find out. We are spending one night in Changshu and have 5 meals planned, plus or minus. So we're gonna sample all the foods in those adverts, and then some. Some of those other foods are coming up. We're having breakfast at Songhua Tuanzi, an eatery that specializes in gaotuan and in rice cakes and rice balls. What I have in this bowl are sticky rice balls and big and small wontons. Sticky rice balls, I've done numerous videos about. Wontons, known locally as Wonton, I haven't spoken much of, but I've eaten a lot in Suzhou, in Shanghai, in huangshan, etc. So these are anything but unique to Changshu. But having both in the same bowl is a sort of unique embodiment of some facet of the culture and history of Changshu, as well as the greater Jiangnan region in which it belongs. As I explained in a previous video about the noodles of Hangzhou and iconic Jiangnan region city, around 1,000 years ago, due to warfare between the Song and Jin dynasties, droves of Song folks in the north fled south, bringing with them northern culinary culture. One hallmark of northern culinary culture is wheat-based foods, including the aforesaid noodles, as well as buns, flatbread, wontons, etc. They coexist harmoniously with rice-based foods, the traditional meat staple in the south, including the likes of tangpan, sticky rice ball in soup. In China, the further south you travel, the less prevalent wheat-based foods, and conversely, the further north you go, the less common rice-based foods. Here in the Jiangnan region, which is a part of the south but close to the north, rice still dominates, but the split between the two grains is almost even. Migrations and subsequent culinary cultural transmissions have occurred throughout Chinese history. Take, for example, Lei Cha of the Hakka people, or Shao Mai from Cantonese dim sum restaurants. These are adaptations of some sort of northern foods. Evidently, foods with northern lineage can be found in numerous cuisines of the south, but I think most readily in the cuisines of the Jiangnan region. Maybe this is because many northern migrants in the past just decided to stay here in Jiangnan rather than moving elsewhere. But why stay here in Jiangnan? For one thing, I think it's because Jiangnan is relatively close to the north. Therefore less traveling, easier acclimatization. And for another, and perhaps more importantly, is because Jiangnan is the place to be. We Chinese have long considered Jiangnan to be heaven on earth. Why is Jiangnan heaven? I think one primary reason is agricultural abundance, in large part thanks to the fertile soil, the flat terrain, and favorable climate. In fact, Changshu literally means always ripe. And the nearby city of Taishan similarly means great greenery. The expansion of the Grand Canal around the 7th century during Sui Dynasty was chiefly motivated by the plenitude of produce of this region. And naturally, the always ripe Changshu was a major contributor to this plenitude. Plenitude often leads to affluence, and affluence often fosters conditions conducive to cultural advancement, which is why Changshu has been the birthplace of numerous luminaries in this regard. Take for instance Huang Gongwang, a venerated painter, one of the 4 masters of the Yuan dynasty. In fact, our hotel is named after Huang Gongwang. It is also a mini gallery modeled from a building that dates to Qing dynasty. So it has lots to see both contemporary and ancient elements. Come on, let me show you around after the meal. Hope you enjoyed the tour. 再见。